Hello, everyone. Microphone should be working. I just tested it. Why is it that every time I go live, these lights that I turn on in front of me make me look super red? I'm like, I don't feel like I put that much blush on, and I'm not even wearing any bronzer. So why do I look super dark red? I don't like that. How's your life, everybody? Everybody. Goldie, you're hilarious. You can take a break, girl. I told Lori not to worry. I was like, it's okay. I can try to mod for myself too. I can try to do it. But thank you for being here, Goldie. I think Penny's in here. I never see you, Penny. Number 5 in letter A. She's in here too. Girls, hey Donald. Um, I think I can do it. My sweet Goldie, my sweet little honeybee. Penny is here. Okay, all right. But Penny, if you have places to be, girl, it is a Saturday night. We don't know your life, so please feel free to check out if you need to. Well, hi, Bobo. Mhm. Hey guys. Hey. Happy Saturday. How was everybody's Saturday? I said sunny little Saturday because it was. It was a really nice day here today. I wouldn't call it a fall day. I was sweating profusely. I was trying to look good. It's one of those things where like I tried and then by the time you're out in public, I again looked like a soul food cook. Thank you, Daria. Um, guys, we had a fun day today. I Some of you were my Facebook friends, and Huxley and I spent the day together. Jeff was out of town today. Actually, he got home about an hour ago. And Donald, I'm so happy to hear that. Lori, that sucks that you were working though. I hate working on weekends. Nikia, you're hilarious. She's gonna listen while she's in the shower. How was my day with Huxley Ties channel? Hey, wonderful. It was so much fun. We didn't get out as early as we wanted to, but we got out about 11 o'clock. Um, and Daria, I'm so happy to hear that you had a great Saturday. Hey, Pat O. Oh, guys, sad news. Okay. I'm texting with my mom. She went to put the chickens up tonight and one of them was dead. And they've had them for like over 5 years. So they're not like new chickens. We're a little traumatized by it. We don't know what happened to it. She showed me a picture of it and like its wing was up, just like in the coop area. And the other chickens are freaking out. I'm just trying not to deal with that. It makes me really sad. Um, Uh, so we had a fun day. Huxley and I told you guys this the other day, something that we like to do together, which is not I mean, he's a boy and he's 14. I'm a girl and I'm 39. We don't have a lot that we like to I mean, we both like Mexican food. That's incredibly important. And I would say that I conditioned him to love it. I had to. Um and so we like that. So that's about it though. That's about it. We don't have a lot in common of things we like to do together, but we do love thrift stores. He likes to go to thrift stores and look for like jerseys. Wonder Woman, my pet raccoons are so good. They ate a bunch of mac and cheese last night. I threw out a bunch of mac and cheese that Hux and I didn't finish. That was our side dish last night when I cooked dinner, and I couldn't even eat like more than 5 bites. I'm not a big mac and cheese eater. It Hey Leo, it I don't know. The thought of it's good. I never order it like in restaurants, but I'll make it at home. Jeff and Huxley love mac and cheese. I think it sounds good, but then I'll get into it and I'll take like 5 bites and then I'm done. I'm like, this is it's too carby for me. It's like I can't eat it with anything else too because I made my roasted broccoli last night. I was stuffed eating 5 bites of mac and cheese. I was like, oh. Also, I think my diabetes medicine makes me full really quickly, so I have to be careful what I eat. Like I eat a few bites of each thing and I'm done. I don't want to waste it all on the mac and cheese. I wanted my broccoli. You did, Nikia? That's hilarious. You went thrifting with your kids today too? That's awesome. I have to be honest. Um, Marisa, I think you spell it that way too. We talked about this. That's the spelling of my legal name, guys, Marisa. But my whole life, I think at about the age of 2, people were calling me Marissa. And my dad was like, I can't handle this. It would like trigger him. Honestly, it triggers me a little bit too. I don't like being called Marissa. So he started calling me Reese. So that's what I go by, but that is my name, Marisa. And it's a pretty name, but it makes me mad because if I use it and I say it and someone goes, "Okay, Marissa." I go, "No, it's Marisa." And they're like, "Okay, Marissa." I'm like, "Forget it." Oh my god, Nancy. I love Nancy. Did you get my email, Nancy? I emailed you back, babe. That was an interesting email you sent me, and I'm so glad that we can now reach out to each other that way. I really am fascinated by you. I think you're an amazing woman. Thank you for that giant super chat, Nancy, and I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. Hey, Marty girl. Um, Leo, a fancy mac and cheese pasta Alfredo? Sure, but I don't have a gallbladder, so there's a pretty like 90% chance I'd crap my pants if I ate that. Because Alfredo sauce is like pure fat for me, and my I don't break it down, and it's not, if I'm gonna eat like that, I might want to do it at home because it's not a good place. I don't poop in public. I'm not a comfortable public pooper. Oh, good, you got my email. Okay, Nancy, good. Um, Yeah, Daria, I often think that. I wish my dad or my mom would have spelled it that way, Mareesa, Marisa. Because, like I said, it's a pretty name. Marissa's a pretty name too, but it's not my name. And so when people are like, okay, Marissa, I'm like, nope, nope. Marissa actually typically has two S's. I agree with that, Renee. Getting people's names is correct. It's a big deal. It's your identity, totally. And it's annoying if you correct somebody and then they still do it wrong. It's like, okay, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, yeah, Keela, no question, girl, no question. Can I start having Keela? No, I'm sorry, I was reading something else. Keela, that's true. I'm sure you get like Kyla all the time. Daria, can you start having members? Marisa Reese Quabell, strike while the iron is hot. I don't know what you mean by that. Start having members. Um, but I'm sure you'll expound on that. Oh, good. Oh, April, you have the cutest dogs. April has the cutest dogs. Uh-huh, Donald. Yeah, and I don't feel like I look like a Marisa, but I also have never used that name, so it's kind of foreign to me. Heather Carr, welcome, girl. I'm doing real good. I'm trying to get to my day, but then we get to chatting, and that's okay too. Um, so Rob, I love you. Rob, I think you made a comment about how you liked the bigger hair. And just for you, I almost did it today because I wanted to too, but I was like, Rob likes it bigger. I kind of want to go bigger, but then I ran out of time. It takes like 50 minutes to do that. Rob, by the way, thank you for the super chat. You're amazing. I love when you're in here, Rob. But Rob said something funny. He was like, the higher the hair, the closer to Xenu. So, Rob, I tried to tease it up for you a little bit to try to kind of poof it. Here's the deal. Yesterday it was flat because I washed it. That's another reason I don't wash my hair very often because the day I wash it, it looks awful. It's the days after that it has body and volume. So, Rob, I did that just for you. I just want you to know. And thank you for the super chat, Rob. Um, no way, Nakia. I say your name right? Oh, that's awesome. Well, look at this name, Armine. Yes, this one, it took me a minute. April, I love you, girl. Oh, Mother Bear Patty, first time catching you live. Hugs from Omaha. I'm from Omaha, girl. Oh, I wish I was with you right now getting some La Casa pizza. Or speaking of Alfredo, I would love some cheese tortellini from Sergeant Pepper's. What else do I want? God, Omaha has such good food. Omaha has way more local spots. Kansas City has so many chains. I love local places to shop and eat. John Sostovsky, kids should be able to wear hats when passed out. That's true. Why don't we try that, John? I don't even know if that hat's going to fit her head. She's gained a lot of weight. I'm concerned. But John, you're right. Nikki, thank you. I agree with Rob. I like the bigger hair. I've always liked big hair. When women have like big, poofy, curly hair, I'm like, why can't I accomplish that? Now I can with that weird thing that I do to my hair, but my mom is so sad about this chicken. Uh it's hard. My hair is super straight naturally, so it gets flat. Thank you, Donald. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, Regina, thank you for commenting. My allergies are a little bit better today. I sneezed quite a bit today, but I don't feel as clogged. And my this eye still looks to me a little bit, the lid is swollen, but I'm much better today. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm just keeping up the Zyrtec. I also got some of that. I haven't didn't use it today though. What's it called? Flonase. I got some of that too. Paula Puffer spent part of my day with a giant beaver. Hmm. Maybe you might wanna let us know more what you mean about that, Paula, because that is very interesting, and that could go a lot of different ways, but, I've always wanted to live with a big beaver. I saw a little, clip on Instagram the other day of, like, what are those called? Reels? What are the kids calling it? And, it was a beaver, like, trying to get into somebody's fridge that lived there, and he, like, stole a bunch of blueberries, and ever since then, I really wanted it. You did say that, Rob. I knew it. I kept that close to my heart, Rob. I was like, Rob likes it big. We need to make it big for Rob. Um, oh, Daria, I see what you mean about the members thing. I would consider it, but a lot of people have told me not to do it. A lot of people have said, like, don't do that. Apostate Alex, I'd be worried if you struggled pronouncing my name. I would be too. Alex, when do we want to do this? I was thinking even maybe tomorrow, but I don't know. You're like British, aren't you? It's a whole different time zone. If not tomorrow, maybe we could do something on Monday. But again, I don't know your life, and you might have like a full time job that we don't know about, Alex. TMI on the beaver? Not so much in here, really. TMI is not really a thing. Is it? I don't know. Shelly, welcome. Can't believe you finally made a live. Friends getting together to talk about food, kids, and animals. Yeah. Other things too, though, Shelly. I hope you're comfortable with it. I don't understand the super chats either, Mags. Super chats, etc. I'm watching from Edinburgh. I think I said that wrong. Scotland. I don't know how to. I'd super chat. I did do a super chat for Mike Rinder once, but I don't. I don't know how to do it either, girl. And don't worry about it. That's not why we're here. I appreciate everyone that does it, but you guys are just my friends. Well, thank you, number 5 and letter A. Any kind of hair? That's not always true, though. Sometimes my hair can look pretty rough. Again, the day I wash it, oh, Brianna. Guys, that's my sister, Brianna. What happened to mom's chicken? Brianna, the brown chicken died. She texted tonight just a little bit ago. She actually called me tonight. I was surprised. We just got off the phone and she sent me this picture. I don't understand. She said I went to check on it and its wing was up and it was up against the I don't even know where the head is, and I don't know that I wanna know, but she said its wing was up and, she said, "I don't know. It was in the cage and its wing was up against the rail. Its friends are freaking out," and it made me really sad. I don't know what happened, Bree, but she's had those chickens for years, like 5 plus years. Nikki, I'm so glad you're here, girl. It is a lot of effort to maintain poofy curls. I don't know what kind of chickens she has, Amanda. Leo, I'm not the person to ask for that. You like sushi? What should you get? If Jeff was down here, he would tell you Jeff loves sushi. I will never eat sushi in my life. I've never had fish before ever. Never had it. I've never had a pork chop either. I've not had a lot of things. Eating meat makes me feel like Hannibal Lecter, not in a good way, because I have a raging crush on Hannibal Lecter. That's where it all started with the old men, I think. I still to this day would cheat on Jeff any second of any time with Anthony Hopkins, and I will suffer the consequences. If it ruins my marriage, so be it. If Jeff can't seem to make room for that, then you know what? It wasn't meant to be. Yeah, Goldie, me too. I love big hair. I love 80s hair. I like looking like I was in a Poison video. Yes, John, I am the queen of TMI. That is correct. And hopefully everyone's okay with it. Scrolling through. Edinburgh. I knew that. I heard Aaron say it once, and I knew I just said it wrong when I said it. Thank you for correcting me. Paula Puffer went to Buc-ee's. They have those in Tennessee. I saw one of those when I was there to get gas, which was the best bathrooms when you travel. Oh, I just liked that on Facebook. You took a picture with their beaver. Their company mascot is a beaver. That's right. That's right. It was a big beaver. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I'm depressed. Poor chicken. My mom talks about Buc-ee's, like, they're building those all over Tennessee. I don't think we have any here. Oh my god, Daria, I thought about doing a thrift haul to show you what I got. Okay, guess what I got? You're not gonna believe what I got. I'm so excited about this. Thrift stores are my favorite thing. Guess what I got? You won't guess, so I'll just tell you. Oh my god, and it was my size and it's flawless. There's nothing wrong with it. It looks like it was never worn, brand new. It was 40 bucks, which is kind of a lot for a thrift store, but it's not going to be when you find out what it was. I got a vintage navy in perfect condition wool Pendleton pea coat. I am so excited about it. Plus, it's a Saturday. Like, it's a Saturday. I don't go anywhere on Saturdays because there's too many people everywhere. There's too much traffic. And I found it. This lady came up to me. I was trying it on in the mirror. And this lady came up to me and she was like, "Where'd you find that?" She was like, "I've been here for over an hour. Where was that at?" And I was like, "Lady, it doesn't matter because it's not going home with you. It's going home with me." But I did find it on the vintage rack and I wish you the best of luck. And she was like, "That's amazing on you." She was like, "You are a lucky girl. That's a lucky find." And I was like, "Get out of here. You're not getting it. It's not going to happen." It's amazing. I love Pendleton. I just think it's a cool brand. And I love vintage Pendleton. And it's so cool. Guess what else I found? This is really pretty. I don't know if it works. I tried it on. I forgot to take it off. It's a watch. It's really old, and I love turquoise. I love old, vintage turquoise. It doesn't have to be vintage, but I'm not reading comments right now. By the way, I found a turquoise vintage old watch. Here, I'll just. I don't know. Look, and it's got coral. Mm. Isn't that cool? I think this was 30 bucks. And it's old and turquoise is not cheap. So I got that and I got the coat. And then I love wearing berets in the cold weather. I got just a knitted, I think it's a homemade, it's red with some other colors stitched into it, beret that was $3. And I got an old scarf that was black and white stripes and it's real skinny and just kind of goes around your neck. Oh my God. I love thrift store shopping, but today was a heck of a day. Now I feel bad. Huxley didn't find as much. He found a Chiefs jersey that he really wanted, but it was 40 bucks and he brought his own money, but he was like, "That's kind of high, mom. I don't really." And I said, "Good for you, son. Don't get it then." And he's got quite a few. He's found jerseys before. Um so he didn't get it, but he did get a really cool pair of old ass Nike dad tennis shoes. He likes that like old school New Balance old dad look. So he got those. Those were 12 bucks. And I was like, "Good for you, son." Huxley has huge feet. Steve, Anthony Hopkins is my free pass. Thank you for saying that. I need to catch up. I know. Um, Kid is behind me. Alicia Medley, welcome. Angeles Froderick, interesting name, and I don't recognize you, so welcome. I love how you do your makeup. Well, thank you. It's so pretty. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Well, hello, Jeff. So glad you're here. I think my Jeff is in the chat too. I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, Kid is behind me. Kid has been really needy lately. Yeah, I also recently at a thrift store like a month ago found a really cool vintage raincoat and it goes down. I think I told you guys this. It kind of goes to my ankles and it's old. The tag in it's really old and it's like a Kelly green and it's so pretty. I love it. Kind of have an addiction to vintage coats. Um I found today, I did get a camel colored vintage swing coat. It's like thick camel wool. It was $15 and it goes down to my ankles and it's a swing coat. So it doesn't button or zip anywhere except at the top. You pull it at the top and there was a huge, like a brooch for the button. It was like a really big old button. It was so cool, you guys. I didn't need it. I probably shouldn't have done it. Um, yeah, pea coats, Amy, is where it's at. I love an old pea coat. Yeah, it's lined. Yes, witness, it's lined. Did I take a picture of it? Because I did take a picture of it to send to my mom, but I might have deleted it. Nope, I took a picture of me in it. I'm kind of embarrassed to show this to you guys, but I had the hat on too. I put the hat on and I bought the hat. That's that's it. Isn't it cute? I could have buttoned that bottom button. It was there. I just didn't. Is that so cute? And I liked the hat. The hat was like homemade. I just love hats. Yeah, beret. I got the beret. It's lined and it is in perfect condition. I was shocked. Oh, you Jeff, you guys have Buc-ee's? Yeah, it was an amazing find. And again, on a Saturday, I was shocked. Everything's picked over on the weekends. Yeah, Tracy, it was amazing. Yeah, what do you guys think of that? I'll get to it. The watch. I think it's really cool. Yeah, Pam says the watch is really cool. Yeah, Mags, the watch. Nikia, my favorite thing to thrift is vintage wool trench. Like, yes, because they're so expensive. Long coats are expensive. I like to buy vintage fur coats. I'm not for fur. I think it's wrong. I don't like, you guys know this. I don't like killing animals really at all. But like old fur coats, I'm like, what I mean, it's dead. What are we going to do with it? I don't support it. But if it's a beautiful coat, I'm like, I really like feeling it and naming it and being weird. But I would like to find a long fur coat. I have many short ones I've found at this particular thrift store. I've found some good fur coats at this thrift store. It's a giant place and it's a church one where like it's all donations from churches all around. It's a great one. Cat Jack, we had a great day. Thank you, Donald. That's a nice thing of you to say. Steve, you'd look killer in a black trench coat. That'd be awesome, my friend. You need to find one. Needy lately, Daria, she's just been real clingy, which I love. She's more clingy with Jeff. Kid likes Jeff way more than she likes me. But last night she was making biscuits on me and I was like, "Yes, girl, get it." I love it. I love it when she does that and purrs really loud. Makes me think she's happy. And anytime my kids seem happy, it just fills me with great joy. Tampa Bay, man. Coats are cheap and great condition down here in Florida. I bet, girl. Thank you. That hat. I thought it was cute too. Care for JC. Lisa, you're a brave, amazing woman. My goodness. Thank you. Goldie, pea coats are amazing. They're so classic. I love a classic, guys. It's never going to go out of style. Hey, Ken, welcome. Lee, Reese, I'm finally here when you're live. I'm so glad you're here. Um, Barb, SPTV tattoo warrior. When are we going to Paris? That's a thing for me. When the weather gets cold, I love a beret. You know what? I didn't even think about that. It's kind of Parisian. It's a little bit Parisian. I didn't even think about it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Yeah, here's a picture of it just on the hanger. So you can see it's lined. Whoever asked me that. It is such a nice coat. Couldn't have been more excited. I'm serious. Yes, Amy, it was a wonderful, wonderful day with Huxley. It was wonderful today. Marty girl, what does the P mean? I don't know. It's a nautical thing. A pea coat. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Someone will tell us, and I'm guessing that someone will be Steve Britton because he is a walking factoid. I know, Keela. I gotta clean out my clothes. I put a lot of my clothes on Poshmark and sell them, but a lot of them I don't. I just donate them. Yeah, Lorinda Leach, the chicken could have died from old age. Bison 5360. Okay, now you have to do a fashion show for us so we can see the wonderful buys. Oh, and you got to go to a Bucky's. Well, I'd love to do both, honestly. What is so special about Bucky's? Isn't it a gas station? Because I don't really eat that kind of food. Do they have good food? I don't understand. Tampa B man, love the watch. I thrifted silver vintage watches to make a clock. That's cool. Barb, you are so cool. You're so talented. Betsy Sue, much love, Reese. Just cuz. Well, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, babe. Oh, that would be so cool, Mags Daily. You wanted a red long peacoat with black fur collar cuffs. That would be amazing. I'm also into red more than ever. I don't own anything red except that picture I posted on Facebook. Everybody, Barb, Tampa B man, you were one that was like, that's your color. And ever since then, because I think that's the only thing I own, honestly, in red. This dress, it's kind of a blurry picture. This dress was half red, half pink. And you guys were all over that. And you were like, that's your color, girl. The picture I posted was this of me and Jeff. And people were like, that is your color. So I kind of want to find more red. I want to find like pops of red. Well, the hat I bought had some red. Vintage furniture. I love vintage furniture. This place that I go to is it's kind of a gem. Snake, let's see what you said. I found a long heavy leather for 100 and it's lasted me 6 years now. That's awesome. Jeff, it sounds like you found some cool stuff, my friend. Oh, really, Brian Lucas? You still have a peacoat from your time in the Navy? Yes, I knew it was like it's the origin. It's like a nautical thing. I mean, I don't know anything else. Apostate Alex, Paris is awesome. I used to spend a lot of time there for work. I've not been to Paris. Jeff loves Paris and he wants to take me there. And then I hear people say Paris is dirty. You don't want to go to Paris. And I'm like, really? Because I disagree. I have a feeling I would have a great time there. Super anxiety chick. Hello from Belgium. That's cool. You are truly a beautiful soul. Wouldn't mind hanging out with you. Keep clearing the planet. Well, thank you. I would love to hang out with you. And that's cool that you're in Belgium. That's amazing. Oh, Tampa B man. You have your mom's wool navy nursing cape from the early 60s. I bet it's amazing. Yurts and things finally caught alive. Well, welcome, my friend. I love you. You bring me so much laughter and joy. I need it in my life. Me too. I seek it out and you bring it every day. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Claire with an I. You love your lives with Aaron. Your recorded calls were very brave. Thank you for standing up for compassion and what's right. Well, that's a nice thing for you to say for sure. Thank you. See, this is so true. Carol Barnhart. I have wavy, curly, frizzy hair. I'd kill for yours. Everybody feels that way who has wavy hair. When I see hair like that, I want it. And then people with your hair are like, no, I'd rather have your hair. I would love to have big, frizzy hair. I love it. Maybe, John, the chicken got hit while crossing the road. I'm not sure. Ty's channel. Hey, friend, here's a couple of bucks for Huxley's trip. Glad to hear you guys had a great time today. Well, thank you, Ty's channel. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Gary Mackey. Hey, Gary. My lawyer friend Zach was live last night. Several in the chat mentioned you wanted general legal answers dealing with Scientology. He said he was not able to contact you, but if you reach out to him, he would respond. He's on tonight. Okay, that's cool. Is that Aaron's friend? Does he have a channel? See, I don't watch YouTube, guys. What's it called? My lawyer friend Zach. Oh, okay. I just subscribed. I will reach out to him. Thank you. Hello, Bobo. Hello. We see you. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Gary. You guys look at Bo. He's so cute. Did you know you're a nice person? He's your friendly neighborhood pood. Bo, smile for the camera. Aw, that's so nice. Um, okay, so you're a vegan, gluten free, and even I can find food there at Bucky's. Gifts, super clean, huge restrooms with flowers and lotion. Okay, that sounds weird, but maybe I'd check into it. Um, Yurts and things. Love your lives with Aaron. You two are evidently great friends. Is obvious, which is why your lives work so well. I love Aaron. I hope you had a nice birthday. Thank you, Hannah needs CL. The red, you're feeling it too. Thank you, Mags. Okay, guys, so I guess I need to look for more red. Well, apostate Alex, you little angel. Thank you. It's a lovely picture of you and Jeff, he says. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I hate this. I get behind and then I can't look at everything, and I've got to get over that. Um, oh my god, Pat. Oh, yes. The only thing for me better than a thrift store is an estate sale. I love going to estate sales. Yeah, I know, Hollyhock. I want to go to Paris. Paula Puffer, the name originates from Piege, which means coarse wool in Dutch. The fabric used to make the pea coat. See, I knew somebody would come forward with that. Thank you, Paula. Thank you for the super chat. Alex Colmer, Reese, can you play an instrument? Absolutely not, brother. I grew up in the Church of Scientology, and before that, I was in an ice cube. We didn't learn much out there in the North Atlantic. Snake, you gained another 200 subs from yesterday. It does seem to be more, like a lot more, and I welcome everybody. I'm so excited about that. Dawn in Wyoming, I've missed a ton of lives lately. I miss your face, Reese. Dawn, I'm so glad you're here, babe. I love you. Thank you for that super chat. That's so nice. You guys are so nice. I love you guys. Oh, Roxy, welcome again. Carol, there is no such thing as TMI. That is true. That's a thing of the past. Um, Tampa Bay man, then I need tips for how to keep it big. I buy all kinds of root lifting sprays. I get thickener stuff to make it seem thicker. I've tried mousse. My stylist just sold me something. It's like a thicken. It's a balm, but it's supposed to put volume in, and it kind of makes my hair feel crispy. I don't love that, but it falls flat. Like eventually, after a couple of hours, it's flat again. So tell me, girl, tell me. Yes, Barb, I wanna get into that. You're so wise. You and Huxley talk anything about Bad Grandpa? We did, and we're gonna get into that. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments so I don't have anxiety about being behind. I saw that. Zach is really tall, which, guys, I love a tall man. If he's tall, I kinda like it. Of course, he has to be old too, though. I don't like a tall, younger guy. It's so weird. I'm not attracted to anybody, like, under 65. 65 is a little young for me. You guys know this. Hi, Pumpkin. Interesting, Nakia. You look good in a lot of colors, especially super saturated jewel tones. My God, that's specific. Thank you, Angel. I would miss sunrise dawn. I have to sneeze. It's coming. I feel it. Are we done? Yeah. Um, I want to do that. I want to work like very part time doing because there's estate sailing's a big thing here in Kansas City. But I can't do it. I will lose so much money doing that. I know I will. And I will have to like buy a pickup truck to like load up all the stuff I buy. Daria, I didn't put anything in my hair today other than some dry shampoo and my airy texture spray, but it's just because it's a day that I didn't wash it. If it's not washed, like I wake up like this. I have more volume and it's like flowier, but when the day I wash it, it's flat and I can't it doesn't matter how much product I put in. Yeah. Cat I did it. I'm getting there. Absolutely, yes. Super anxiety chick. You've mentioned anxiety a couple times. Living with anxiety disorder myself. Do you think Scientology gave you toxic shame? I think Scientology gave me a lot of toxic things, but shame definitely. I talked about that the other day. Um, just feeling shameful all the time, feeling apologetic, feeling like I take responsibility for everyone and everything. Yes, I think that comes from there. I haven't really unpeeled that onion yet, but we're getting there, and I think so. Apostate Alice question: has the age of men you're attracted to changed over time? Like when you were 20, were you into 50-year-olds or has it always been 65 plus? Good question. No. But I've always been with older guys. Weirdly enough, Huxley's dad is 5 years younger than me. He's the only person I've ever been with that's younger than me. Um, when I was, as you guys know, I was on staff at 14 sleeping with a 24-year-old. It started there. Um, when I was like had boyfriends, when I got my first apartment when I was 19 and I had my own apartment until I was 24. I did a lot of rocking and rolling in those days. And all the guys I dated then, let's see, I was like 19, he was like 31 or 32. I was 20, 21, 22, and he was like 30. Jeremy was 8 years older than me. Those were all like my serious boyfriends during that time. So always like close to 10 years older than me, most of them. And then I didn't know I was into old guys until I met Fred, Alex, and, from then on, I just liked old men. It's weird. I did always have a crush on Anthony Hopkins. Like, ever since I was little, I've had a crush on him. But no, like, in my 20s, I was not attracted to really old men, but now that I'm in my 30s, I've always felt attracted to older, like, much older. And, we should do a deep dive about that sometime because I don't know where it comes from, but I feel secure around older men. They've make Fred made me feel so safe, and I think he set the tone for that. So after that, I was just very attracted to older men. There's some established safety about them that I flock to. I feel like they're not going to hurt me and they're wise and I can tell them anything and they're patient. Now, that's not 100% true with any group of people, but I find older men to just feel like a safety net for me. I just feel that. So I don't know. It's probably weird, but that's the truth. Nikia, I have been told that my whole life. I have like the daintiest little mouse sneezes. Thank God, because nothing else about me is dainty. Susie Brat, welcome. I don't recognize your name. You're a gem and you make me smile. Well, babe, I love you right back. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Dry shampoo works great. I use Moroccan Oil's Light Tones dry shampoo. It's my favorite. I've gone through a lot of different brands, and that's the one I like. Um, Hold on, guys. I'm just reading and trying to catch up. I wonder if that will reverse sometime. Like, will I ever be attracted to younger guys? I will never be attracted to guys younger than me, but like, what about even guys my age? Every once in a while, very rarely, I'll see someone like in their 40s and I'm like, he's cute. But there has to be something really special. Like, he has to be like 6'4" and chiseled or something. Not chisel. I'm talking about his face. Like, I don't like muscular dudes at all. I like chubby guys. But it's weird. I don't know. I wonder if it'll ever go back. Daria, that's a good point. That could happen. As you heal from your trauma, you will unpack more attractions to various ages. I'm sure. There's just something about an older man I feel safe around. I don't feel very safe. This is a weird thing to say, but I don't feel comfortable around a lot of men. I don't feel safe around men. And that's been the case for a long time. Like, all of my physicians, all of my doctors have to be female. I've always been that way. Even when I go get my pedicures, it has to be a female. Now, I have my own favorite person I see anyway, but if she wasn't there, female only. Isn't that weird? I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I've just always felt a little bit uncomfortable with men. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I feel bad admitting to that. I apologize to you guys in here. I don't mean it mean. I just don't feel as safe around men. That could be Lori Alexander. The issues you had with your dad, that's why you like older men. You're looking for good guys, hero complex. Probably. I'm sure that has something to do with it. Keela, I'm going to get to me and Huxley. Christy Marino, welcome. I never make it live. You are a good mom. Just caught up on yesterday's live. Thank you, babe. I don't recognize your name, but I like it. And thank you for the super chat, Christy. It's really kind of you. Thank you. Um, so I want to talk about today. I'm pretty caught up here now. I feel weird, but I feel like I have to blow my nose, and I'm so uncomfortable doing that on camera. I'm gonna do it on camera, but I'm gonna push mute because it's gross. I just feel like that's gross. Like, somebody commented yesterday, and they were like, "I couldn't watch your live because you had a butterscotch in your mouth." I was like, "That lasted the first minute and a half, and get out of here and F off into the forever if that's how you feel. If you're that judgy and, like, triggered over that, I wish you the best of luck." I'm gonna mute it. Hold on. So much better, guys. Sorry I had to clear that out. It was from the sneeze. Yeah, people are ridiculous. People are so weird. I was thinking about that today before I get into the Huxley thing. I thought of something today. I had what you would call in Scientology a cognition, or in the real world, an epiphany. Um, I think I realized something today. Just having that talk with Aaron yesterday when he said about the negative comments, he said, those are people telling you what they're comfortable with. Those are people saying what they would do. And I that has unfolded for me. What color is my kitchen? Pat O, like off white. The cabinets are like a cream color and some earth tone colors, I'd say. The backsplash is like a cream and brownish pretty. It's pretty. I like it. I didn't pick it, but um Renee B, is it difficult to be so vulnerable on YouTube? I admire your ability to be so transparent. I don't think it's difficult because this is just who I am. I'm not trying to be vulnerable. It's just comes out and then I get yelled at for being vulnerable. Um, Here's what I was thinking though. Excuse me. My mom was the same with men. She was going to be a nun before she met my dad. I was a third of 7 kids, but when he died, she was done with men. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not that extreme because I definitely like to answer the bone phone. Like, if Jeff and I were not together, or if Jeff and I got divorced, let's say, or something that's not happening, but let's just say, I would date a lot of men. Like, I would have a good time. I would definitely want to go have a good time. I would be going to the rodeo, midnight rodeo all the time. Ever since I've been with Jeff, the chemistry sexually is insane. It's the best I've ever had. And so I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know my body very well now being with Jeff, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it. And I encourage that to all of you. Like, find somebody to bone down with to go to Pound Town because it's magic. Like, we may not get along on every other level, but my God, like, it's just a very freeing feeling. Um, I can't recommend it enough. I like I just really I don't know. My first marriage, married 10 years, probably well, guys, I was talking about other stuff, but now we're talking about this, aren't we? I was married for 10 years, to Huxley's dad, and I think in those 10 years, maybe we had sex, I'm gonna be generous here, 12 times? Maybe, maybe. That's a lot. Um, no chemistry. Best friends, but no chemistry. Loved him like a friend. He loved me like a friend, but we were not into each other sexually. We just weren't. It was a nightmare. And I didn't know what I was missing. Like, I didn't know I needed it or wanted it because I had a partner that I was like, no, I don't want to. Being married to Fred, different situation because Fred was 95 years old. There really wasn't any of that. I mean, you can't, and that's okay. That wasn't the purpose. I mean, Fred was my best friend and still is. I still feel Fred around me. I feel protected by Fred. Um, it wasn't a sexual thing for me, it was much deeper than that, and a gift of all gifts from any type of whatever above you wanna call it. Fred is a gift that keeps on giving, and I am so thankful. Now, let's move on to the 3rd marriage. Holy moly! That's another reason I think I like old men. They know what they're doing. I didn't know this. They know what they're doing. Fred knew what he was doing. Trust me, he knew the ins and outs of every curve. He knew things, but his body was old, and that's okay. No, Steve, it wasn't once a year. That 12 times was like in the first year, and then it stopped. Now, moving on to Jeff. Jeff is a feisty Taurus who knows what he's doing. Um, Jeff is extremely good at, I guess, at sex, if you wanna put it that way. He's just good at knowing a woman's body. He's good at do we wanna talk about this? Why did we even get into this? I mean, I love talking about this stuff, but an hour ago, I was on the phone with my mom, and she was like, "You're not talking about sex anymore, are you?" And I was like, "Not really, mom." She was like, "Okay, good." Uh, 'kay. So it's okay? Everybody's okay? Do I have consent? Does everybody give their consent? Um, I, Fred really was 95, Rachel. Yes. Not everybody knows that I've got a lot of new subscribers, and I will talk about Fred and the story again. But yes, it's weird. I'm sure a lot of people are judging me who don't know that story, but it was a beautiful, beautiful relationship, and I don't regret it. And it wasn't weird for me. I was deeply in love with that man, and don't get me started or I'll start crying. But I really miss Fred, and he was amazing. Sorry, mom. Yeah, mom's not watching, but yeah, Vince and Giggles, get in here. Um, yeah, I won't stay on this topic very long, but yeah, here come the oversharing sex police. I agree, Daria. Uh, okay, I'm not going to get into this for very long anyway. I don't even know what got us into this, but all I'm saying is, and not making jokes about it, sex is a really important, very powerful thing in a relationship, and it took me to get to where I am with Jeff to know that. I had all kinds of weird, not weird sex, but I had all kinds of um, different sex with different people in my 20s. Jenny Wong, hi Reese, I'm mostly on replay and generally don't comment. I just want you to know I'm supporting you in the shadows. Thank you, Jenny Wong. You are a gift. Thank you for your super chat, and that's so sweet of you to say. Thank you for being so supportive, Jenny. Um, yeah, Steve, no, that ain't me, dude. And here's the other thing. I won't ever be in a marriage again. I probably won't get married again. I love being married and I'm good at it. I love being a wife. I love taking care of Jeff. I've told you guys, doing his laundry, folding his underwear, making sure he's getting enough electrolytes and water and going with him to the doctor to be a second set of ears and making sure all day long that Jeff's taken care of. That's a job I enjoy. I love it. I like taking care of a man and I'm good at it. Um, I don't know that I'll ever do it again, but I will tell you this, if I'm ever in a relationship again, I will to a T. I mean, I feel bad for the next man in my life, and there could be one because there is a big age gap between me and Jeff, and I'm still young, and I have to think about that. That may sound insensitive to say, but losing Fred, I now know what the stakes are. I know what to expect, and I think about it a lot. I have to be prepared in my mind for another loss at some point someday, and I hope it's 20 years at least from now, but we don't know. So, if I'm ever with another guy though, I will tell you right now, like, I will go on my first date and be like, "So how are you sexually? Like, what do you like to do? What are you into? Do you know where the clitoris is and what to do with it?" And I guarantee you by appetizers, he's gonna be like, "I gotta make a quick phone call." He's gonna be gone. But you guys know I don't know how to behave in the world, and there's no freaking boundaries when it comes to me. So it actually, I kind of sometimes wish I was single right now just so I could have fun on a date because I would totally right up front be like, "So, like, what do you do with the taint? Do you know any magic tricks with the taint? What do you do with your hands? Who do you take care of first? Are you a gentleman in that department? Are you like a two pump chump? Are we just going to like do this and be done? Like, oh yeah, Yvonne, my list is long. So is mine because of Jeff. Jeff has set the standards for me. So like Jeff has spoiled me. Jeff can be a total dick swinger. I don't always get along with Jeff. We know this. Jeff can really piss me off. Now that's marriage. Nothing weird about it. But my God, does that man know what he's doing physically? And it's a beautiful thing. And he has opened those doors for me. So now I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And we've tried all kinds of things. And I'm like, ooh, I love this. Um, and he's willing to explore. And I love that about him. But I don't know if it's a Taurus thing, you guys, but like Jeff is all about me first. Oh, I love that about him. He's such a gent. Like he never he gives me like not just sexually, like he will be the foreplay for Jeff is like a foot massage. I've told you this. And then he like works up and like rubs my thighs. And then he like starts doing this to my head. And I'm like, God, I love that about him. Like he's so touchy feely. He's like the cat. He's very much, he makes biscuits on me all the time. He does it in my sleep. Okay, it's a Taurus thing, Erica. Um, yeah. We got derailed when someone asked what color your kitchen was. I don't know where we went with this, but I'm going to say this too, guys. Don't be shy about what you're into. Like, I didn't know. So, again, back in my 20s, I boned a lot of men, I boned a lot of different guys. And, I mean, who didn't in their 20s? I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I regret it. It was fun. I had a good time. But I don't know that I did a lot of exploring. It was just kind of plain sex. I I feel like now Jeff and I have slowed down and like he just takes his time with me. And I also um have always been shy about my body. I remember when I first slept with Jeff, I covered myself with pillows. I was like, you're not seeing my stomach. Like I have my fat flap like the cat. It hangs like the cat. And Jeff's not skinny, but I was like, "You're not seeing this ever." And he was like, "Honey, take the pillows off. Like men like it. It doesn't matter." And I was like, "Oh, it matters and you'll never see it." Like I covered myself up for a while. Well, now oh, here, question Renee B. Super personal. That's not a thing here. Don't worry. A lot of men over 60 need Viagra. We tried it, but it didn't help. How about you two? Jeff has used Viagra. We didn't like Viagra. So his what do you call Jamie? What is she? I love her. Urologist. Jeff's urologist put him on Cialis. Now, Jeff doesn't need either one, but it's fun. It's fun to, I guess, make it last longer. Cialis is wonderful stuff. You take that, I want to say every 48 hours or something. Viagra sucks. It doesn't really do much, but the Cialis, recommend that strongly. Um, Daria, you're so profound. Humans love intimacy, especially when you deal with your trauma. People who don't discover they do. Yeah. So I don't mind talking about this stuff, obviously, because I think my Scientology background, I talk about everything. There are no secrets in Scientology. You're asked every single question under the freaking sun, and you have to give it up and you have to give up the details. Um, so I'm used to this. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. I can say all this with a straight face. I'm sorry if this triggers people and it makes you uncomfortable. You might just want to check out of this chat tonight. But the other thing that's cool, you guys, is don't be shy with like toys or tools, whatever you want to call them. Um, my favorite thing is the wand, and I named him Epstein because I think it's a sick joke, but I think he's too powerful and he's too sexual and he has too much power. So I named him Epstein. We've had Epstein for 5 years and it's well worth the money because one charge stays charged for like 2 months. And oh my God, I have to tell you guys something. We went to a wedding in June of this year, a couple months ago. Jeff and I went to a wedding in Iowa. Okay. We take Epstein everywhere we go. Epstein is my very close friend, and I have, I don't ever want him to get his feelings hurt, and I love Epstein. Um, he's white. The color is white. Okay. Wish we wouldn't have bought a white one because we left him in the hotel room on the sheets, and the sheets were white. And we get halfway home, and it's like a 4 or 5-hour drive or some shit. We're halfway home, and I had a panic attack in the car, and I said, "Jeff, did you pack Epstein? Did you bring Epstein with us?" And he was like, "I thought you did." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "I'm not serious. Did you leave him?" And I was like, "You left Epstein lonely and cold and crying in our hotel room?" I was like, "He's in room 302 right now, looking around for his friends, and he can't find anybody. And he saw our suitcases zip up and leave. He knows we're not coming back." And I was so pissed at Jeff because they're like $300. They're like $250. And I was like, I'm a cheapie. I was like, we're not getting another Epstein. I was like, how dare you? Oh, I was so upset. And we couldn't turn around at this point. Not to mention, Jeff's 95-year-old mother's in the back seat with us. She doesn't know who Epstein is. And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "You left Epstein in room 302." I was like, "You can't turn this car around." We got Jeff's 96-year-old, or no, she's 95, I think. And he was like, "Honey, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "I am so upset with you right now. Like, he is a jewel. He's not replaceable. Like, just his personality alone." I was like, "He's been there for so many things for me. Like, he's been there through ups, downs, shark weeks. Um, I mean, he's just I can't think of a time without him, honestly. He's in all of my memories. So, we get home, and I'm just, like, not even speaking to Jeff. I was like, "I cannot believe you left." It's like, he's been like a brother to you. I was like, "This is sick." So, I call the hotel. I'm so embarrassed, and I don't get embarrassed easily. Um, okay. Sorry, Michelle Brill, you were married. I don't want you to be upset, babe. I feel like there's gonna be some upset people. I was married to the same for 41 years. He passed a year ago. We were married for life in heaven and had sex several times a day until he became ill. I can't imagine wanting another. Well, I understand that, and I'm so sorry that you lost your husband. Um, that's terrible news. I'm so sorry. So, it's awkward to go back to this story, but I do have to finish it. I hope you don't mind. Um, I call the hotel, and I am not one to easily get embarrassed, but I call the hotel, and thank God her name's Amy, and I remember her from when we checked out, and it's still her. And I said, "Amy," and Tampa B man says, "My oldest daughter wanted a tattoo of a clit below her waist. If a guy didn't know what it was, then he was gone." Oh my God, that's hilarious, Barb. Wise girl, and thank you for the super chat. So I call the hotel, and I'm like, "Amy," I said, "There's no easy way to do this. There's no easy way to say it." I said, "I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be like, we forgot our neck massager." I said, "Look, his name's Epstein. He might have already come to the front desk looking for people that he knows, like a child lost in a store." And I said, "Look, he's brought us a lot of joy. I can't be without him. I need to know if you can go find him. I don't know if he's there. I don't know if he's out on the highway walking home. I don't know." So Michelle says, "Let me get your phone number." Oh, Michelle was cool, by the way. She was so cool. She goes, "Yeah, you're not the first person to do this." She was like, "It's fine. We're all adults." And I was like, or Amy, her name was Amy. Um, I said, "Okay, good. Thank you. Please call me back. Don't take your lunch break or anything. Please go check on Epstein and call." It's like a child. I was like, "I need to know. I need to know if he's still there. I need to know if he's looking for us." So she calls me back in like 15 minutes, and she goes, "I got Epstein." And I was like, "You are kidding me." I said, "No way. Are you sure it's him?" And she was like, "White wand." And I said, "Yeah." And looking scared. "Was he sad? Was he all right?" And she was like, "This is getting weird." Um, I said, "It is. Yeah, I agree, but there's no other way." And she said, "This is so cool. What hotel was it?" I think it was a Hyatt. She goes, "Well, because you are one of our gold member guests or whatever." She goes, "Shipping is on us, and I will ship him back to you." And this printer ink box that I just opened, Susie Bratt, I need "fuck off into the forever" on a shirt. I would buy that so fast. We should put that on a shirt. Keela, we need to do that. So she puts him into a ink printer box, and lovingly, And she gave me the tracking number and she said it'll be like 2 to 3 days, and I said, "That's a long time, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain anymore because Epstein came home." And you would believe Jeff redeemed himself. I was like, because Jeff was already getting ready to go load up and go to the sex store. He was like, "I'll just go get another one." And I was like, "How dare you? What kind of a person?" I was like, "You don't even wanna know if he's findable?" I mean, I was about to put out an Amber Alert. Um, well, that's adorable, John Sosofsky. You and your old girlfriend had a guy named Buddy. We would take pictures of him at different national monuments, sometimes in a suit. That's so cute. Um, so, best believe when that printer ink box showed up at my front door, I ripped that thing open so fast. I gave Epstein a hug. I charged him. I cleaned him. I said, "I'm so happy you're home. I'm sure that you were just frightened as all get out. I'm sure you were just beyond beside yourself in room 302 alone, knowing that the suitcases were zipped up and got out of Dodge, and you knew we went back to Missouri, and you were still in Iowa, and it was such a sad thing, but it was a wonderful reunion and really nice. It was really nice, guys. I don't know why we went to that story. I think because I was trying to say, don't be afraid to use something to try something. Um, I hope that didn't upset anyone. There's a lot of people in this chat, and I hope people aren't upset. That wasn't meant to upset you. Um, but it was a good story, and Epstein came home, and uh, I don't know what a Levens. Wait. Oh my God, that is a great dad joke, Erica. Was he shaking in excitement when you reunited? Erica, clever dad joke. I love it. Um, get a Lovens, Reese. I don't need it. I can't replace Epstein. Like, I have a lot of stuff. Okay. I've got Jeff's into that, like in the beginning, he was like, dick swinging with his moves, trying to like buy the expensive stuff. I have some good things. I have another lady named Kellyanne. I like her when I'm alone. When Jeff's out of town or something, I have to use Kellyanne. I always say to Jeff, like if he's home and I'm like, I had to use Kellyanne. He's like, I do it as like a mean manipulation tactic. I'm like, where you been? Because Kellyanne's around and I had to use her. And he's like, sorry. I'm like, yeah, you should be. You should be when I have to get Kellyanne out. But Epstein and Kellyanne are pretty much the only two that we use. We had a guy named Brian, but then he got replaced by Epstein. Epstein is the great and powerful Oz. He has too much power. Um, yeah. Daria, you nailed it. In the words of our fearless leader, Reese, this is not the channel for you if this conversation bothers you. Yes, please don't comment on it after. I said it trigger a warning, guys. So, um, oh, really, Lee? It's not a Taurus thing. Jeff just sounds like my husband. I don't know. Jeff is just really good with his hands. Oh my God, there he is. Honey, did you listen to the story? Everyone remember to hit like and subscribe. No one cares about that. We're talking about Epstein, babe. Jeff's going to be really upset with me when I go upstairs. I guarantee you. He's going to be like, you told the Epstein story of when we left him in a hotel room. I did, honey. And I also said how he gives you a helping hand. Sometimes you don't want to put all the work in. Guess who's there for you? Epstein. So we couldn't leave him alone and frightened in that hotel room. Oh no, he came back in a printer box. Susan Albright, Slussier, Reese, what's your email? It's my name, Reese Quibell, QUIB as in boy, ELL, at gmail.com. Jamie Palmer, do I want to know what's going on here? Probably not, Jamie. It may not be for you. I don't know about this Lovens thing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But Jeff, we're talking about how good you are at everything, honey. We're talking about how good at the bone phone you are. Are you still in here? Why don't you just come down here? Um, what else, you guys? That was interesting. I didn't mean to go into that, but this is the point of the channel. We go into all kinds of things. He's good at it. That's all I can say. Him and Epstein together are a wonderful duo. And I know that they're gonna make my night every time they come out together. Um, they're wonderful men. They're wonderful. The 2 of them together are just great. Uh, what now? Stephanie, you need a man like Jeff? You sure do. We all do. Um, Jenna from Cali, I haven't checked the box today. So if it did come, I will check it on Monday because they're not open tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that's tough, Vincent giggles. Your new one has too many options. Pretty sure you can't return it. I wouldn't even try to return something like that. Um, Renee, you have questions for Jeff? It sounds like he left the chat. I'm sure once I mentioned Epstein, he was like, goodbye. Um, maybe Jeff and I should do a live tomorrow. Would you guys like that? Maybe we should do a live tomorrow. I know there's like football on tomorrow, so I don't know if that messes with things. Um, Yvonne, a printer box. Epstein is, it's a wand. Epstein is like, I feel like I need to blow my nose again. I'm just going to do it. Sorry, I know that's really gross. Epstein, yeah, Ray Epstein is a wand. Yeah, he's a vibrator wand. Raymond, you should go back and listen to that story. I think you would appreciate it. Yeah, Tampa B man, you don't with Epstein. Oh, Jeff is here. Honey, well, speak up. People want to talk about you and how good you are at what you do. You know what I'm saying? Sure you do. Um, Amanda Mangles, welcome. Know any nice single men over the age of 40 that are like Jeff? I'm close to you in Wichita. I probably don't, but Jeff does. I don't hang around a lot of guys. Raymond, he doesn't plug in the wall. He's rechargeable. So yeah, you can plug it in, but one charge holds like over a month. By the way, thank you for the super chat, Amanda. We'll work on that. Okay, I'll do a live with Jeff tomorrow. Guys, we'll pop on tomorrow, probably more in the earlier in the day tomorrow because Huxley's going to be gone a little bit tomorrow. So we'll probably do it while he's gone. Karma Cham's Kitten, what is my favorite song from The National? Well, they're my favorite band. It's hard to have a favorite song. God, I love The National so much. All the Wine. I love that song. I love the song Son, S-O-N, not S-U-N. Born to Beg, love. Corinne at the Liquor Store. What's the one I've been really loving lately? I can't think of the name of it. I'm just singing it in my head, but I don't know the name. Yeah, it's like the Hitchcocky one. Yes, Raymond, it's like that one. It's like $250, but we've had it for 5 years. Wow, that would be the best Amber Alert ever coming across my phone that we lost Epstein, Gary. So true. It was about to happen. I was going to file a report. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Maybe tomorrow we could have like an open discussion with Jeff and ask him questions. I'm sure he would love it. Funnily enough, I can't use it by myself though. I can't use Epstein. Oh my God. Look at that, you guys. Join us tomorrow. I'll be happy to answer your questions. You guys better be here for that then. Don't mess around and be like, I missed it. I don't know what I was saying. I was saying something important and I have no idea what it was. Oh, I can't use Epstein by myself. That's why I use Kellyanne by myself. It's more manageable. Epstein is, it's long and it's powerful. That's what I mean. That's why I named him Epstein. He's got too much power. But Jeff likes to use him on me, and that's fine. Did you name it after the character from Welcome Back, Kotter? Was there an Epstein character in that? No, I named him after Jeff Epstein, the creepy dude that had way too much power and was a criminal. Lena on me. I'm so glad you're here, babe. Destiny Salzar. Hey, hi. Let us know the time. Daria, it'll probably, I don't know where you are. I'm in central time zone. I'm guessing it'll be around between probably 1 and 3 tomorrow, if I had to guess, probably after lunch. Renee B, probably around between 1 and 3 PM tomorrow, after lunch, because you know what I mean? Might have to have a little lunchtime and then do it, the live. That's a great idea, grandma loves you. You'll have your hubby watch. He's good, but maybe a refresher in order. Keela, what's wrong with it? Yeah, guys, tune in for that. That sounds like a good time. Okay, SPTV Tattoo Warrior. You guys want me to finish with the Huxley story? It's kind of awkward to switch to that, but I'll switch to that. Oh, it's okay, April. You dip out, babe. I hope your migraine gets better. Snake, Ken, probably in the afternoon tomorrow. Yeah, it's a sex positive conversation, Ray. I agree. Guys, there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. I don't want to hear any bad comments after. This is again, it's like the Huxley thing the other day, and I got my ass ripped for it. It should be discussed. Things that make you uncomfortable on my channel, I'm gonna discuss them because I'm comfortable doing it, and it just we go there. And so I want the guys to stick with me that want to go there, but if you don't want to go there, don't stick around with me. It's okay. You don't have to. So let's switch over. Bye Curious Cat. Love you, girl. I'm going to tell you real quick about the Huxley thing. Switching over to Huxley. So I want you guys to know I organically went into it with him today. We talked about what was talked about on the live the other day. Tampa B Man wanted to get another one in before you finish the live. I love you, Barb. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat and just your friendship. I really love you. I think you're wonderful. Naomi, you should go back and watch it, girl. So Huxley and I had a really nice organic day today, just in general. We had a great time together, but we had a lot of time to talk. And I did speak to him, like I told you guys I would. I brought up what we talked about on the live the other day. I told him everything. And just talked to him about how I said, Huxley, I just want you, as you get older and you age, you'll understand this stuff better. And I gave it to him in a version that he could understand. I didn't go into major details, but I just kind of went into the Doug situation and the things that Doug was doing. And some of it he remembered and some of it he did not. And he just said he appreciated me being honest with him and telling him he wasn't upset at all. He said, I'm not embarrassed and I'm not upset. He said, and I love this kid for his maturity and his ability to understand. He said, I'm not embarrassed and I'm not upset, Mom. He said, I know why you did it. He said, you're trying to expose the bad things about Scientology. And part of that is Doug. And I said, totally it is. And I appreciate you coming from a place of understanding it that way and not being upset with me. I said, the goal was never to, what did I say? The goal was never to like make you feel bad or embarrass you. I said the story was about him. It was exposing him. He said, yeah, I agree. And I see that. And he said, you had to tell that part of it to tell the story. And I said, I did. And I am so glad you're not upset with me. And he said, I'm not upset with you at all. And he said, but to be honest, he said, just talking about it this afternoon, he said, I was shocked that he said this. He turned and looked at me. I'm driving, so I wasn't really looking, but I could feel him turning to look at me. And he said, I don't ever want to see Doug again. And I was like, wow, okay. I said, well, I want you to make that decision. I said, I didn't talk to you about this or bring this up to make you feel that way. I want that decision to come from your heart, not me pushing you to feel that way. And he said, I don't, Mom. He said, you didn't push me, but he said, I don't ever want to see him again. He said, what we just talked about made me really uncomfortable. And he said, I don't think I want to be around him ever again. And he said, I was shocked. He said, he made his choice. And he said, I see that now with all the time that has passed. He said, he obviously made his choice and picked which side he wanted to be a part of. And he said, that's not our side. And oh my God, he made me cry. He said, because you and I are team mom. And he said, we're together. He said, so he can't just pick one and not the other. And I said, Huxley, I don't deserve you. I said, you are the most amazing child out there. I just love you and I'm proud of you and I appreciate you so much in your heart. And that was pretty much it. He just said, Barb, I lied one more. Best day hearing that from Huxley. Thank you, Barb, for your money. Your super chats. You're crazy, Barb. I love you. It was really a breakthrough for both of us. And I also went into, I said, Renee, he said he didn't want to do any counseling yet. I am going to bring up family counseling with him. He said, yeah, it was a breakthrough, one true Morbs. He said, I pointed this out and then he agreed. I said, Huxley, here's the thing. I said, I don't think Doug is who you think he is. I said, I know you remember the happy times and the things he did for you. I said, but think about for a minute, why was he the number one person in your world? Why was he constantly buying you things and taking you places? I said, I could never compete. And he was constantly putting a wedge between us. I said, Huxley, I don't feel like Lena on me. You're a great mom, period. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. Yes, Barb, you are spending money and I think you should save your money. You spend a lot of money on me and I love you so much for it and I'm very grateful. Thank you, Barb. You're so funny. I said, I want you to think though. I said, you know, when a person like, I tried to explain, I said, you know what like true colors are when somebody shows their true colors, who they really are. And he said, yeah. I said, I want you to think about, I know you missed the happy times with Doug, but I said, there was a lot of behind the scenes things going on with me that were going on. Phyllis OB, I truly believed he would understand the bigger picture. He's amazing because he's your son. I'm so proud of you both. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. He said, like what, mom? And I said, well, I'm going to give you an example. I said, Huxley, when he would take you, I would constantly for years, this went on for years. I said, I would say either don't do this or do this or make sure you do this or make sure you don't do that, you know, just being your mom. And I said, thank you, Sue Allen. Welcome, by the way. I don't recognize your name. What an amazing son you have. A tribute to how you've raised him. More and more, you can see how leaving Scientology is so worth it. Sending love and hugs to you. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that so much. Oh, Atlas Shrugged. Hey, by the way, he's in many football programs. Huxley's in every sport you can imagine. The kid's never even here because he's constantly in sports, which is great. I very much encourage it. Sports are his life. Anyway, Jilbo Baggins, Huxley has restored my faith in humanity. He is so special. He is Jilbo Baggins, and so are you. Thank you for that super chat. I said to him, I gave him the example. I said, Doug would not do the things I would ask him to do. I said he would take you and then I would say do this or don't do that and he would just undermine me. And he was kind of quiet and I said, Huxley, you're almost 14. I said, maybe in like 15 years you may have a child and I'm going to be the grandmother of that child and I'm going to love that child and I'm going to want to take that child and take it to places and do things with your child. I said, but let's pretend that I do take your child somewhere and you say, Mom, just make sure you don't do this with him. And I go, and I do it anyway. Sylvia, you do not have to pay to talk to me. And he goes, that's not cool. I said, it's not cool, Huxley. It's beyond not cool because it's what's called undermining. And I said, it's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. And it was by design. I said, this was by design, as much as you don't want to look at it that way. And I said, so there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you're unaware of that made it very hard for me. And I said, to be honest with you, I haven't had the relationship with you I've always wanted to have because Doug took over all the time. Now, that is my fault. That is not Doug's fault. I allowed that, and I should have never allowed it. I should have put a stop to it. So I can't sit here and say, "I didn't get to spend time with you because Doug took you." Well, I could have stopped that. Now, was it har would it have been hard? Yes, Doug was extremely overbearing, and I did try to stop it a couple of times, and he put his foot down and was like, "I'm taking him anyway." I mean, Doug was very Brenda used to use the word all the time, "Doug can get very gnarly." That was her word for him. That was his wife. Vincent giggles. That kid is going places in life with such an amazingly well-adjusted outlook. His priorities are exactly in the right place. Thank you for your super chat, and I think you're right. I hope you're right. We still have a long way to go. We have a long runway, but I told him too. I said, Huxley, what are we doing today? We're out doing our own thing. Me and you. We're tooling around Kansas City. We have no agenda. We're going to lunch. We're doing whatever we want. When have we ever been able to do that? Never. Not with Scientology in our lives. Now we can. But I said, Doug took you all the time. He put himself up on a really high pedestal that I couldn't compete with. You never wanted to be with me. And that's not Huxley's fault. He's a child. And I told him that. I said, do not feel guilty about any of the conversation we're having. Don't feel like I wish I would have done this or I should have done that. I said, you're a child, Huxley. We're the adults. And I was not taking control like I should have. And that's my fault. Doug is a total predator. I think he's a predator. Sylvia, how do you privately chat with me? Just email me, babe. reesquabell@gmail.com. So that was a beautiful conversation to have, and it didn't feel forced. And I brought up the Scientology grooming, Pat. I said, for whatever reason, he was doing this stuff with you for years and years and years. And I said, Huxley, I think there was a reason to it. And he goes, you think to put me in Scientology? And I said, I think that's a big reason. Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest. And he said, he goes, Mom, he also said something that was weird to me. He goes, it made me really uncomfortable. And I said, what? And he said, he wanted to die when I have my first child so that he could drop his body and be my child, like my son. I already knew that. Doug said that all the time, that he was waiting for Huxley's wife to get pregnant one day. And when that happens, he's going to drop his body and be Huxley's child. Is that the creepiest thing you've ever heard? I always thought that was so uncomfortable for me that he would say that. And he said that made me really uncomfortable. And then he just kept saying it over and over. He goes, I never want to see him again. He said, I have to be honest, Mom. He said, this makes me so uncomfortable thinking about all this stuff. He said, it just makes me uncomfortable. And I said, well, son, I want you to be comfortable talking about what's uncomfortable, especially with me. And I appreciate it very much that you are having this conversation. He's kind of a closed up kid, and I don't like to pry. I don't like to force that. Phyllis OB, can you ask Huxley for some special wish list items? He's dealing with so much and he deserves it. He, like his mama, is loved. I can. Phyllis OB, he has put a couple things on there. But I will have him do that. Thank you for asking. Joni Cummings, and thank you for the super chat. Miss Reese, I'm so glad you had time with Huxley. Thank you, Joni. Good to see you on here, babe. Thanks for the super chat. Steve, who initiated it? He brought up Scientology and Doug. We were talking about my lives, and then I went in from there. I just said, speaking of, since he had brought it up, I said, there is something I kind of want to talk to you about. And I started with the live. I started with that I had said the things I said. I said, I don't want this to be a secret and I don't want you to feel embarrassed. And he said, I'm not embarrassed. He said, I'm okay with that you said those things. And he said, they were true. And he said, I get that you were trying to expose the bigger picture. And I said, God, you're such a smart kid. Do I still have the fund for Huxley's trip, Grouchy Mama? I didn't really, some people sent a little bit of money for it, so I'm putting it toward it, but I don't have like a fund, and I'm not promoting it anymore. I'm not talking about it. Talking about it makes people uncomfortable, and I understand that. So I'm just not really bringing that up anymore. So thank you for asking. But anyway, I felt such a weight lifted having that conversation with him. I didn't think that it was going to go as well as it did. I thought he was going to side more with Doug and be like, well, I still really want to see Doug. I couldn't believe I was driving, and I remember looking straight ahead at the road, and my eyes, like, popped out of my head, um, because he said it. He it was almost immediate, and he said, "I don't ever wanna see Doug again." And I was like, "Well, okay." And that's a good thing in my mind, but I just said, "Look, I want you to make that decision, though. I don't want that." I never like to with as a parent, I only have 1 kid, so I can't say with my kids, but I always, always, always have wanted Huxley to make the decisions. I've always trusted him. He's very mature and wise, and I've always trusted him to make his own decisions. Now, if he makes a decision that's clearly not something that's a right or good decision or harmful in some way to himself or others, of course, I'm going to say, how do I spell my last name? Quui, B as in boy, ELL. I always want him, of course, I can help him and say, look, that may not be the best decision, but I always trust him. I've always trusted him to make his own decisions. And then I can behind him go, good, that's a good decision. Go with that. But I never like people who convince people or I just don't like you can easily a kid is easily what's the word I'm looking for? It's such an easy word and I can't think of it. You can sway a child very easily to go, are you sure that's right? Maybe you want to do this instead. I hate that shit. I don't like it. Like, usually the first decision is the right one for you. And I feel that way about most kids, especially at his age. I'm like, he can decide things for himself. If it's not right, we'll have a discussion about it. Influence, sure. I don't want to influence a kid. So I said that to him today. I said, when he said, I never want to talk to him again, I said, all right. Um, that's fine. And, I just said, "I think Huxley," I said he kept saying it. He said it like 3 times. He said, "I just don't wanna have anything to do with him." He said, "He makes me very uncomfortable, mom." And I said, "Well, this is impressionable." That was the word I was looking for, Daria, thank you. I said, "This is what I mean when I talked with you a couple months ago, and I said to you, if you see Doug or Brenda, it's dangerous and you need to run. If it's at the bus stop, run home, run to the closest house, get your phone out and call me or call 911." I said, "I'm not trying to scare you, but I do not trust those people." And I said, "I feel like they're borderline dangerous, Huxley. I don't want them in our lives." And I said, "Doug put a huge wedge between you and I. We've never had a Thanksgiving together. This will be our first Thanksgiving together." I said, "We've missed a lot of time and bonding because he was so busy, unhealthily and unnecessarily bonding with him all the time, buying him things, giving him money, doing things that I couldn't ever match up to doing." And it always made me feel like a fucking failure. Like, he'd bring Huxley home and Huxley would be like, "I want to stay with him." He never wanted to come home. And then Doug would always give him some light at the end of the tunnel when he'd drop him off every time. He'd go, "Well, I'll be back tomorrow night. Well, I'll be back Wednesday night to get you." He'd always like dangle the carrot. And I would think, okay, great. Yeah, I can't compete. Um, so today, yeah, Cindy Lee Bryce, please look behind the curtain. I think we kind of looked behind the curtain a little bit. And I want those thoughts to unfold for him in his own mind. Um, yeah, constant bribery and love bombing. Looking at it now, I see it more clear than ever that it was totally by design. And I honestly don't know what the end goal there was. I don't know if it was just to be best friends with Huxley or to get him into Scientology, probably both. Um, it's sick though. Well, yeah, there's Kid, isn't she? She's having a bath. It's sick and it's more dangerous than I realized that it was, and I'm probably gonna keep realizing how dangerous it is. Like, I never want that man in our lives again. I never want him in our lives again. And Huxley remembered some of the weird, creepy behavior, but he did say to me more than once, he said, "Mom, it was creepy, like him sleeping with him." And he was like, "I don't know why he did that." And he said, "It was creepy. It made me uncomfortable." And he was like, "It makes me very uncomfortable to think about it now." Um, And I also feel good that this is out in the open. People were all over me about sharing this on YouTube and with a minor child, and you didn't get consent from him. Well, now I did. And I told him, I said, I've shared this on my live. And he said, I understand. And I said, I didn't do it to hurt you. And I did it because I wanted to expose the bad parts of Scientology. And he totally understood. And he said, it was just the part of the story you had to share to get your point across. And I said, totally. And I appreciate you understanding that, and not being upset with me. That was long winded, but I wanted you guys to know that it was a beautiful conversation. I'll never forget it. And it brought us closer together in a way that I've never experienced. I mean, really, since Huxley was born, Doug has been taking him. I remember going to Scientology events every weekend, and Huxley being a little guy, like an infant or a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, and people coming up to me at the events, like just public, and they would go, "Well, I went to see your new beautiful baby, but Doug won't let him go." Like, people, it got to a point where people would get annoyed, and they'd be like, "I tried to hold him, but Doug wouldn't let me." Like, people were starting to come to me for permission almost at events, and I would be like, "Yeah, I try too. He doesn't let me either." And that was a real thing. He was so, and it kind of makes sense. Doug thought or thinks that Huxley is his father. Doug told all of us in the family that his dad died in like the 80s. I don't know if I was even alive yet. And he has been waiting around on a phone wire as a Thetan, as a soul, as a being, waiting around to find the right body to go into to be around Doug again, because they were just that close. So Doug has this like unhealthy already connection to Huxley because he believes that he's his long lost father who's been waiting around to be back with Doug. It's creepy. It's really creepy to do that. And oh, really, Renee B? You were super uncomfortable with the Doug and Huxley stuff. It's because of your issues, though. I understand. We all have that. It's super creepy. So I think if you tie it all together, that's why Doug is so unhealthily attached to Huxley and like doesn't let anybody else near Huxley, his own mother. I mean, Doug really, really didn't like me being around Huxley. He didn't. Um, and so when he said to me today, I don't ever want to see him again, I thought, is Doug not close with your ex, Peace Dog? No, not really. They send him money. They enable Michael, Huxley's dad. They give him money every month, and that keeps him unhealthily attached. Lena, on me, Reese, the grooming like that is so prevalent in cults. I just heard a story like this on Mormon Stories. I'm sure you did. Thank you for the super chat. I just feel like we made a breakthrough today with him, like finally, and I'll talk to my therapist about this next week, but like I feel like Huxley finally kind of broke a little bit of the attachment. I feel like when he said I don't ever want to see him again, it was like he finally saw the light a little bit, as far as like I see what I'm seeing and it's not a good thing. And I thought, "Oh God, finally, like luckily." Um Steve, I'll answer that in a minute. Vincent giggles. I think telling your Huxley story is so important. There are people in similar situations now that need to hear this. Also, somebody said too, like, where would we be if we just kept silent about this stuff? It's true. Like, where would we be if people didn't talk? It's important to talk about this stuff, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Steve, what do you think made it click in his mind? Um, Well, I'll tell you specifically, when he said, I never want to talk to him again, right before that moment was when we were talking about the showering and the sleeping with him. And he said, that makes me really uncomfortable. And I said, I understand that. Yeah, I can see why. And then he said, I never want to see him again. And then I remember the street we were even driving down today. We were driving to our old house. We drove past our old house today. I love our old house. We have so many memories. That's the house Huxley was born in. And he said, I just don't. He said, all the stuff that I'm thinking about makes me too uncomfortable. And he said, I can see why you think of him as dangerous. And he said, I don't want to be around him again. I mean, it was just like this certainty. Huxley, I love that about him. He's the opposite of his dad. He's more like me. We're very certain about stuff. It's either a yes or a no. Like in Scientology, you call it being in a maybe, and people would always make fun of that and go, "Well, Huxley certainly is never in a maybe, is he?" No, he's very certain about what he wants to do, and so I liked that. I could see it today. Like that's what I think made it click. Donna Rose, what was Michael's life like? I can only imagine. I feel so sorry for him. Wish she could find his strength. Donna Rose, his life was very traumatic in the church. He will tell you, he's told me, he was very forced to do things um, that he didn't want to do under pressure. He never wanted to be a Scientologist, and they really forced a lot of that on him. And it was horrible. How long has the conflict been going on, Steve? What conflict? What do you mean? Um, Keela and everyone that had to make horrible comments can now understand why these conversations are so important. Keela, thank you for saying that. Keela is like my number one. She's so supportive of me. It is possible, Megan. I thought of that too. Could it be possible he remembered something from that time and didn't say maybe? I don't know, but I didn't want to push any of that. That'll be for therapy for him. I definitely like Jeff. I was talking to Jeff about it. Jeff was like, did he remember something? And I said, I don't know. And I didn't ask. And that was intentional. I did not want to pull it up. Like, I didn't bring it up so that I could be like, so tell me, what do you remember about that? Like, I'm not a therapist and I'm not going there with him. That's not my job. And I don't want to sway him one way or the other. And I don't want to make him uncomfortable with me about it. I would rather have some form of a person for him to talk to about it. Maybe that's not the right thing to do, but I certainly didn't bring it up to what they say in Scientology, like pull the string. I didn't bring it up to be like, so tell me your memories and details of this. I really don't know that I want to know if there is something there. Now, I'm willing to know, I'm willing to go there, but only if it's on his terms. If he wants to discuss that with me, that's fine, but I'm not going to ask for details. I don't think that's appropriate. I just don't. It doesn't feel right. We touched on it and he agreed with me on it. And that's as far as I want to go right now. If he wants to come to me about it, that's fine, but I don't want to pry. Diane L. Wow, I hope nothing but the best for yours and Huxley's relationship. Hugs from this 58-year-old grandma of 6. Wow. Well, thank you, Diane L. That's so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. Goldie's on the plane. Goldie, you're good, girl. You can sign off. You're amazing. Goldie is truly a superhero. It's crazy. Exactly, Stacey Toms. If he remembers something and feels he wants to talk about it, he will come to you. And I'm sure as we go on through tonight, tomorrow, the next few days, he's probably going to be thinking about this conversation on his own and processing it in his own mind. And if he wants to come to me, and talk about it, I'm always there for him. And I told him that today. I said, I will always, always be here in your life, Huxley, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. I will always be a safe place for you to come to because I didn't have that. And I want that for you more than anything. So I said, always know there's nothing you could ever say to me that would make me feel embarrassed, make you feel embarrassed. I would never shame you. How long was the conflict with Huxley going on with you? What conflict? What do you mean? I don't understand what that means. I feel like I should. At some point, it might be worthwhile to gently try to find out if any inappropriate contact. I agree, Steve, but I really do want to try to get him into some family therapy with that. I just don't. I know what you're saying. I just don't know that. I only do in my whole life, in any part of my life, I do what feels right. And if it doesn't feel right, I don't like doing it. That's why I wasn't good at Scientology. It always felt forced to me. I remember always thinking like, okay, I'll do it, but that's not really me. Like, okay, I'll apply this reference or apply this technology, but it just doesn't feel right. I don't do things anymore that don't feel right to me. So right now, I think we had the light touch of a conversation today, and that's as far as I want to go with it. I did. He has been. Yeah, Ray, I have no doubt that it was inappropriate. Of course, it was inappropriate. I don't know how far it went. Um, yeah, Renee, I did do that with a therapist I don't see anymore, that EMDR. It was super weird. It is very much like holding the cans. And I told her that, and she was like, is this going to trigger you? And I was like, no, I don't feel triggered, but it's very Scientology. You hold the things, the electrodes. I don't know what it is. It didn't work for me. I thought it was weird. Joni Cummings, Reese, you You gave and give Huxley a safe space. Huxley is letting you know what's going on. Exactly. Yeah. Um, Christ is the truth. Do you believe in God? I don't think so. I don't know if I do. I've never been raised to have any concept of what God is. I really don't know what I feel about that. Um, I don't not believe in God. Let me put it that way. Like, I wouldn't say to you right now, there is no God. I don't know that. I have no idea if I do or don't. I believe in Fred. I believe, and I know that sounds crazy, but that's the closest thing to God for me. Fred saves me in so many ways, so he helps me. I feel him in the realm of some way. Um, when I pray or whatever you want to call it, I kind of do to Fred. I talk to Fred. I don't have a relationship with God, so I don't know if I believe in God. I hope no one takes offense to that. Like, you don't believe in God. I just don't know. I have no experience with God. I've never read anything about God. I just don't know. I don't know. Jeff, my God, Jeff, I might be wrong here, but I would guess since Hux and Jeff go to breakfast and encourages scouting, Jeff is a good influence. Listening, post, and mentor for Hux. Yeah, the super chat is for Hux's scouting, please. Absolutely. I will put it toward that, Jeff. Thank you. That was so kind of you. Um, Funnily enough, you know what's really interesting? And it used to really piss off Doug and Brenda. It's funny that you asked me the question about God. Um, Huxley believes in God, and I don't know where it came from, and I've never shut it down. And it started when he was about 7 or 8, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. Well, I do kind of know where it came from, actually. We asked him. He went to visit his great grandma, Doug's mother, in Iowa. She's like 96 or 97, but she's spry. And she's a very religious woman. She's not a Scientologist, never has been. And she taught Huxley something. In the weekend he went, she told him about God. And he came home and he was praying. And my mom is Catholic. My mom bought him like a cross necklace and he wears it all the time. And he wanted to go to church. And Jeff took him to church. I took him to church a couple of times. I didn't understand what the heck was going on, but he wanted to go to church. Like, all this was just, again, his I only parent this way. And I remember Doug and Brenda being pissed about it. It was his decision. Wendy Walker, Reese, I'm so inspired by you as a woman and parent. Well, thank you. My God. And welcome. I don't recognize your name. I believe this to be very true. If you had to ask me, what's a good way of parenting? Because I don't have it down, guys. But I like to let him choose what the hell he wants to do. And I told Doug and Brenda that when they pushed Scientology on him when he was 6 or 7. I said, nope, he's going to choose whatever religion he wants to choose, but he's not going to do it at this age. He's going to do it when he decides to do it. And if he wants to explore Judaism, I'm going to take him to do it. If he wants to explore Catholicism, we're going to go to a Catholic church. It has to be on his terms, though. I'm not going to influence him. I'm not going to say, this is what L. Ron Hubbard says. I'm not going to say, you should believe in God. None of that. It needs to come from him. I don't like that shit. So all of a sudden he was interested and he wanted to go to church. So we took him to church. I took him to a few different churches because I was like, maybe we go to a few different ones and you find which one you like. And he fell off. He didn't really want to go anymore after a couple of months. I took him to a couple Sunday churches, and then Jeff likes going to church. So they went together. I'm totally open to faith, Daria. I just don't know, guys. I wasn't raised in it. I don't know anything about it. I've never read the Bible. I'm not interested in reading the Bible right now. But I trust Huxley to make good decisions because he's not shown me a reason not to make good decisions. So I've always trusted him. And I just remember it really pissed off Doug and Brenda especially. She was like, I told her, I did it kind of to piss her off. I knew it was going to piss her off. I said, we're taking him to church. And she was like, what church? And I said, a Methodist church that Jeff goes to. And she was like, why is he going to church? What's this about? I knew she was like really upset about it. And I was like, because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to go to the Scientology church. So guess what? New way of parenting. We don't force it like you did to your kids, like my dad did to me. You know, I didn't want to go to the Scientology org either. And I can tell you, Michael really didn't want to go. He cried about going. They forced him to be on course. They pulled him out of school. It was horrific. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not going to parent our kid that way. And it really pissed her off. And I can't tell you, if I could say thank you besides Aaron outing me, that's the best. That's the best blessing you can come up with. But the second one is being away from Doug and Brenda. I had no idea they were the closest people to me in my life. And I had no idea how horrific they were. I feel so much better with them out of our lives. They were toxic, they were poisonous, however you want to put it. I think they were really terrible people, and I think they were grooming Huxley, and I think there were some inappropriate habits. I think there was some unnecessary bonding going on there, and I think that eventually, if this would have stayed, this relationship, Huxley wouldn't be in my life anymore. I think they would have convinced. Well, I have a recording I haven't played yet of Brenda saying many, 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 many times, less than a year ago, "Can Huxley come and live with us? Can Huxley move in with us?" They were trying to get him away from me. It was just a matter of time. And they would have succeeded because I didn't know my kid that well. I didn't get to know him that well. Just like I didn't get to know my sister, just like I didn't live with my mom till I was 18. I think it was very common to just not be that close family-wise. And now we're making up for lost time. And we had a great day today. And I can sit here and cry about it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to think about the future and all the wonderful Saturdays we're going to have ahead of us doing mom and son things. And he's so sweet. He's not your average 14, 13-year-old. He's almost 14 in a few weeks. But like today, we were walking and I bought a new jean skirt coming back from the 80s. And I was wearing it and we were walking towards something that had glass. You could see our reflection. Oh, it was the thrift store. And he goes, "You look really pretty today, Mom." And I said, "Well, thank you, son." He said, "I love that about you." He said, "I love how you really put a lot of effort into." He said, "Your hair looks good." He said, "You always dress nice." And he said, "You just look really pretty." He said, "You always look so pretty to me." And I was like, I love this child. And I miss this time with him because he spent it with Doug. And so it's like we're kind of in a way getting to be comfortable with each other and getting to know each other. Um, Miss Sunrise Dawn, how did Aaron out you? I've heard both mention it before. I was curious about what happened. Last New Year's Eve, hasn't even been a year. Aaron, I was talking to under the radar as a Scientologist, and in a nutshell, I was giving him information, updated information about Scientology and things that I knew, and he was on a live, and apparently he accidentally did that and flashed my name up on a screen from the information I was giving him, and the people at Flag saw it immediately, and I was disconnected from immediately. Um, Well, thank you, Stacy Toms. Please remember in your past videos how much he showed us that he adores you. There will always be ups and downs, but you are his number one. I think that's true. I think that's true. And Beth, he is a beautiful young man. Um, I don't know if that's true, Renee B. Do you think most of us experience trauma and that's why we are empathetic to each other? I think it's a toss up. I think people who experience trauma also turn into horrible human beings. So I don't really know. I don't think you always become empathetic. So excited, Donna Rose, for our Thanksgiving. New traditions you choose yourselves, and so much to be thankful for. A brighter, closer future without Scientology, Doug and Brenda. I can't wait for this Thanksgiving. I always cooked every Thanksgiving for myself and Fred or myself and Michael, but Doug would take Huxley every year for 4 or 5 days. I've never had a Thanksgiving with him. This year will be the first. And so I always cooked anyway. And then I had a ton of leftovers, but I'm so excited to cook this Thanksgiving in our home and have it be just the three of us. And I'm just, like you said, starting a new tradition. And I'm so excited about that. But guys, that's what I wanted to share with you. And I think we're on the right path. I'm not saying I'm doing everything right. I'm probably making mistakes here, but I'm doing the best I can with what I had, the tools I have right now. And I just know that I trust my child and I believe him when he tells me things. And um, I just want what's best. And I hope that we're on that path. Um, I know we are being away from Doug and Brenda, and I'm so happy to hear that he doesn't want to talk to them because I don't want I just think my gut tells me like never again. I never want to see those. I'm the same. I never want to see them again. Um, Thank you, M Creek 3. Steve, you're hilarious. Oh, yeah, definitely, Stacey Toms. When you were young, your grandma let you pick the veggie dish for Thanksgiving meal, start a new tradition, let him pick something. Babe, I let him do that every night. I will definitely before like, I will get my list together of everything I'm making, and I go to the store. Sometimes I pre-order some things. I will definitely consult with him first. I know Jeff will eat anything, but I will consult with Huxley first. This is very exciting for me, so I wanna make everything he likes, but I already do that, and I know what he likes. But maybe we'll come up with a new recipe and make it together. Keela, can I please ask you to tell Doug what I want you to tell him? I know what you're saying. You didn't have to pay me for that, Keela. You're so funny. Thank you for the super chat. Sylvia, okay, sending me an email. Um, Doug can definitely, most definitely more than anybody, Keela, fuck off into the forever. That's what you wanted me to say. And I mean that. It's okay that it's off topic. Peace dog. Which curling iron did you get to make your hair big and curly? It's by the brand, Doug is in the same town as me, yes. It's by the brand Dry Bar. I like their tools. I don't love their product so much because I don't like the smell. It's simple. It's like a barrel thing and it's 3 waves. Now, that other brand Long or Lang, Lange, Lange, they make one. It's called the other one I bought is called the Titan, and I think or the Trident, and they make it one for different lengths of hair. The Trident is for really long hair. You may not want that one. It's looser curls, but it's a 3 barrel thing, and it goes like this, and you just hold it. It goes like this. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. And you just hold it, and then it's like a crimper, only big. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, Yeah, I will get some cool Thanksgiving decorations. Guys, I'm gonna make it special. Here's the other reason. Huxley's birthday is 1 week before Thanksgiving, and he's used to that, yeah, don't confuse Epstein with the Trident. They are kinda similar. Um, he goes every year to his great-grandma's in Iowa, and she bakes him a cake, so we'll probably do that this year too. I've never baked a cake. I don't really know how to do that. I know how to cook, but I don't know how to bake. But you know what? We may make something together this year. I want his birthday to be full of special this year. And like, I know he's going to be a little depressed. It's going to be different. So I want to have like a few days of planned activities, whether that be like somewhere cheap to go. I don't care. But I want to, they do both have you sizzling Raymond after dark. That was my sexy voice. Um, I want to just okay, I'll add some stuff for Huxley's wish list. I just don't bring that up anymore, Am Creek 3, because people get weird about the wish list. I will have him add some things on there for sure. Um, but I want to make sure that we have like some fun things to do. He wants to go to a Chiefs game, but I'm not able to do that. It's way too expensive to go to a Chiefs game, but we'll find something fun to do. Yes, Ty's channel. That's a good point. Do you realize what a warrior you are, Reese? I don't realize that, but your strength and transformation are good for those under the radar to see. That part I agree with. Definitely. Gertie is snoring. Yeah, I order a cake every year, so maybe I will just order one. I usually order him a cake. I get him a cake every year, but I don't see him on Thanksgiving. Okay, Ray, you're funny. Um, You guys, I really appreciate you sticking with me. This was kind of a weird night, wasn't it? We went into some really different off topic situations, but that's the point of this channel. That's what we do. We go into the weeds, we talk about other things, and I have no problem with it. I saw Daria. Is she leaving? I saw Steve say goodbye to her. Um, what is that? My kid wants crumble for her birthday instead of a cake. Thank you, Charlotte. You're such an amazing mama. I can tell that you put so much thought into how you raise Huxley. I do that because I'm also a Cancer sign. I put thought into everything. Anybody that knows me is like, whoa, girl, you overthink. Sometimes it comes in handy. Oh, crumble cookies. We have one of those. I've never been there though. Yeah, guys, I put thought into everything and I don't have a filter and I have no boundaries. And I think that's because of um I've been thinking about that and reflecting on it lately. The no boundaries thing, I really do believe that comes from giving up all your crimes all the time in Scientology. Giving up your crimes and then getting in trouble for them. Giving up your crimes and then getting in trouble for them. That's all I ever did. That's why I didn't really go up the bridge. I was constantly in ethics, constantly having to give up my overts and withholds. Um, and then I would go give them up and I'd write them all down and I'd give them up and they'd go, "You don't have enough written here. You need to do more." And then I would spend a few more weeks and then I'd bring it to the examiner and they'd go, "Looks like you need to keep going." So I think, yeah, Joni, who cares if we go off topic? You love it. So do I, babe. Thank you for the $2. Um, I think that's where that comes from. I think it comes from constantly being interrogated. Well, hello. My God. You were born next to Christ. God, you're so little. Oh my God, I love those little prancy toes. I love these little prancy feet. Oh, I love this child so much. You have no idea. Um, it was constant interrogation, constantly being interrogated. And I think that's why people get pissed at me after the lives and they leave these god awful remarks. And they're like, "You have no boundaries. You have no filter whatsoever. You need to learn how to have boundaries." I'm 39. It's probably not going to change. So you probably need to go find maybe a better show like Sesame Street. Maybe that would be a good one for you. Blues Clues, that was a good one when Huxley was little. Dora the Explorer seems nice and soft landing for you. But I am not going to ever probably find my boundaries or filter at this point. So I highly recommend something along those lines, like a Mr. Rogers, perhaps. He was a great man, Fred Rogers. So things like that. But I can't help you otherwise. And I did all I could for the good of Scientology's kind. Um, no, CJAR, have you reached out to Doug's mom? Love you back. Thank you for the super chat. Um, no, I have not, and I'm not going to. I really didn't know her. She's very close to Doug. I can only imagine what he has said to her about me, but I will let Huxley reach out. Huxley can write a card to her, anything like that. Anything like that. I'm not going to keep Huxley from speaking to her, but I'm not going to reach out because I never did. Um, yeah. Janet, my email address is Reese Quibell, Quib as in boy, ELL, at gmail.com. Yep, Raymond, I agree. Huxley's done enough reaching out at this point. I totally agree. But he can if he wants. I would never stop him from doing that. Curious Cat. I love Curious Cat. Reese, you're perfect as you are. We all love you. I love how open you are. It's so refreshing in such a closed off, judgmental world where people are afraid of feelings and the truth. God, I love that comment, Curious Cat. You're absolutely right. We do live in a judgmental world where people are so uncomfortable with anything uncomfortable. And I'm just not. I never have been. I'm not uncomfortable with things like that. I was uncomfortable making the phone call to Amy at the front desk about our vibrator Epstein. That did make me slightly uncomfortable for about 6 to 10 seconds, and then I got over it. But it's hard for me to be uncomfortable, and I think that we need to just talk about stuff that needs to be talked about. And again, if you can't handle it, um, you know, go put on Finding Nemo. That's a good one. But I'm going to probably sign off. We've been on for 2 hours, you guys. This was a good chat. I feel good about it, and I hope you do too. I really do. I hope that somebody got something out of this tonight. And I want to do something tomorrow with Jeff. Linda, a Chiefs game is expensive. It's like $200 a ticket. Oh my God, Angela Boo, welcome. Your first live. Good for you. Welcome, babe. We love having you. Tiff 45, Reese, what if you created scavenger hunt around your town for Huxley's birthday? I love the real. Yeah, something like that. That's a great idea. I just want to make it a really fun few days and fun for me too. I want us to all have memories that we'll never forget. So, same with Christmas. Like, I just want to make everything exciting and not depressing. Um, I know. It sucks, Scoobitch. Yeah. Maybe they cost even more money, Chiefs tickets, now that the Swifties are in attendance. God, who cares about that shit? I know I don't, but in Kansas City, it's all the rage right now. The Taylor Swift's at the Chiefs game. I couldn't care. Jeff is so funny. He's like, what did he say? He was like, what's going on? He was like, Travis Kelce and Taylor Smith are dating. He keeps calling such a dad. He keeps calling her Taylor Smith. He's like, I heard that Taylor Smith was at the Chiefs game. I'm like, yes, honey, Taylor Smith was at the Chiefs game. That's how much we don't care. Yes, Tampa Bay man, you did that when your kids were young. Good memories. Yeah, I love that idea. Um, Steve, you liked the story with Epstein? Well, maybe we'll tell it again sometime. It's a good story. It was an awkward story though, with Jeff's mother in the back seat of the car and me yelling at Jeff about Epstein. She had no idea what we were talking about. Thank God. Um, Look at my little petunia, you guys. Oh my. Did you know? Did you know that you were this small? You were born right next to Jesus Christ in a manger on that cold night with the gold coins and the three men and the star. Um, we'll find something fun to do, guys. We'll find something fun to do. He's going to be 14. We don't need to do expensive stuff. He'll be easy to please. We just need to look at that face. Oh my God. Mm. Oh, it's so kissy too. It's so kissy. I can't help myself. Um, no, Raymond, she was born in a manger next to the Lord. You know this. And she was there with the three men that had the gold coins in their pockets. Um, and the North Star. Tell that story with Aaron. Oh my God. Can you guys imagine me telling that story with Aaron? He would jump off. He would. I would never do that to Aaron. He would turn all kinds of red and jump right off the channel. He would jump right out of his chair. No way. I can't even imagine. Like, I wouldn't even go there with him. But yeah, we've been on for a couple hours. What time is it? 8:53. I'm probably going to sign off, but here's the deal, guys. We will be back on tomorrow, and I hope you guys come on with Jeff. We can have a little sexual chat and talk about his magic hands and what he can do. And maybe we'll talk about Epstein some more and how Epstein helps Jeff's job. It makes his job easier. Epstein and Jeff are a good team. That's the point, Reese. It's Cooter all over again. SP Pillow Talk. Yes. My dog has not been declared. I don't know why they haven't declared Gert. Doug always really loved Gert. Oh, look at that face, you guys. But I love you guys very much. And I wear your fez hats. Yeah, we can do that, John. I love you guys very much. And I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go eat some truffle cheese, I think. I might just eat some cheese and crackers. That's like my favorite thing to eat. Well, that's not true, but one of them. So I'm going to sign off. I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all your beautiful words of wisdom. You guys always give me so much enlightenment. There's so much perspective, and I love that about you guys. We'll do it again tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, like after lunch, 1, 2, 3, somewhere in there. But I love you guys, and I will sign off now. I'm gonna do the Fred thing. I keep forgetting to do that. So I'm gonna play the Fred video for a minute, and here he is. Okay. Night, guys. Love you all.